gang, what's going on? I'm back with another monthly watch list video. So this is what I saw in October. I know there's not much of a gap between the watch list videos, but trust, I'm gonna come out with a new video really soon, like next week soon. So be on the lookout, you feel me? Alright, so yeah. So I started the month off with watching A24 film The Lovers, which is kind of like a discount version of A Marriage Story. I think this is a DirecTV movie, if I'm not mistaken, which here we go again with the DirecTV movies, dog. But this one was actually really good. Well, I don't know if I'd say really good, but I found it very entertaining. I think overall, like the tone of the film feels bleak and a little almost boring in a way, but not in a way that it just feels. It looks boring, I think, but it's still kind of entertaining in the way it has some dry humor in there. I don't know. I just thought the story was kind of interesting that both this old couple, both members of the couple are like having an affair on each other, and I like the way they executed it. I think it was funny and it was kind of lighthearted when it needed to be, and like sad and impactful when it needed to be. And I think it hit a lot of the right beats. I think it's got a couple pacing issues, but other than that, I think it did pretty well for what it was. I thought it was pretty solid. Then I rewatched Beetlejuice on Freeform, and I think the last time I saw this I was like 10 or 12 or something, so I really only remember like visually certain scenes and a couple like memorable lines. So rewatching it again, like having that clear conscious, like understanding like double meaning behind things and like deeper meanings of like certain jokes, really made it a lot more enjoyable than I expected. And Michael Keaton is just insane, and Alec Baldwin and Alec Baldwin's wife, who actor name I don't remember. Everyone was just insane in this, honestly. And Tim Burton's style in this film is just so like distinct and so fun to watch. It's so different. The afterlife thing could be its own movie in itself, aside from the conflicts that they have with the family. I wish there was so much more we could see from this, and I really wish they would have made a sequel. That would have been awesome. Then I kept watching stuff on Freeform, so I'm gonna put these in one, but I saw the Addams Family films, the Addams Family and the Addams Family Values, both insane films. I think another group of films that I saw when I was younger that I'm only starting to understand now, really, some of the lines and like the plot and conflict, and it's just like I said, way better now that I'm older. And the characters in this film are great. I think I've compared it to other adaptations of the Addams Family, and I love this version the best. This version is just way more fresher. I think whole cast is great, and the writing and the style of it all is amazing. It's insane. I do think though that Addams Family Values is better than actually the Addams Family, the first film, just because the conflict I think is crazier in Addams Family Values. And I love the like summer camp that they go to in Addams Family Values. I love that setting, the way it's like it contrasts with the Addams Family like kids. It's just I love the contrast. It's so good. Then I saw another version of the Addams Family with my baby sister. That was the new Addams Family. Again, stacked cast, but writing was not as good, and the animation was not that great either. I wrote this in my Letterboxd review, but I think the animation just feels so like Hotel Transylvania, and I think Hotel Transylvania is alright, it's its own thing, but this feels like a weird adaptation of that animation style, and I feel like it doesn't work with what they're trying to do here. And on top of that, I think the story is it had potential, but I don't think it really met that potential. On top of animation style and some of the dialogue, it just didn't really work for me, I feel like. But to see a newer version of the Addams Family in general, where I'm a big fan of the Addams Family, I think from the older movies from the 90s, this was just kind of fun to see because it's the Addams Family, and I kind of look forward to the sequel because I feel like it could be something better, hopefully. Then I saw Cats with some of my friends online. So I guess it doesn't really count because we were kind of talking over each other while watching it. But man, bro, I kind of wondered to myself when this movie started, like, maybe it's not as bad as people say it is, because I feel like there's a lot of movies like that. People say it's really bad and it ends up not actually being that bad. But no, this one's just as bad as everyone says it is. From beginning to end, honestly. And animation's not that great. The CGI, the motion cap. Story, I don't know how well it's adapted from the Broadway play. But the way they showed the story in this film just wasn't really working for me, and I think a lot of it really didn't make sense to me, and that was a big problem. Although I feel like if I did understand it, I still wouldn't really like it that much. I feel like I kind of almost understood it but didn't. But the story just felt so weird, and not like in a cool, fun way. That's weird. So I don't know. The cast, it kind of felt like Lion King type cast, where it's like super stacked, but just weird roles, and just like weird scenes with weird writing, where it's like you could have a stacked cast, but it just doesn't work. And I think that's what the case was here. Also, Taylor Swift, she had like a small scene, but you know what? I honestly just don't like Taylor Swift, so that made me not like the movie even more. I'm sorry, bro. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, overall, I don't know. The music was alright, but other than that, I really couldn't take the film, and I actually almost walked out on it. Like, it was that hard. And yeah, that's really all I want to say. I hate that I even said that much about it, to be honest. Then, complete contrast from that, I saw Gandhi from the 80s. Insane film. Ben Kingsley in this film. I've seen him in a couple other things that I can't remember right now. Oh, Thunderbirds. I loved him in Thunderbirds. But man, him as Gandhi, jeez, what a step up. And like, that was definitely, it had to have been an Oscar nomination for its time, I would assume. But just an insane biopic on the man. And I thought I kind of remembered Gandhi from history, but this really gave me a good refresher lesson. And it kind of reminded me, like, oh yeah, that's right, he did do that kind of stuff, and it really covered all the big things that he did in his lifetime, and all the things he did to fight for peace, in his area. And wow, it was just a moving story, I think, and I don't really see a lot of films like these anymore now that are like super moving. So that was really fun to see. Kind of long though. It was like 3 hours. And there was a couple parts where I was like, geez, bro, is the movie about to end? Like, what's going on here? It just felt like it would stretch out so many times. Other than that, though, I mean, it was excusable because I think a lot of the film is really great to watch. And like I said, Ben Kingsley as Gandhi was just really fun to watch, I think. Yeah. Then I saw The Ritual, which I gotta be honest, I was 20 minutes late to this film, so I missed a little bit of it because I was watching with my friends also. But I feel like I got the gist of it, so I'm gonna just put this on here. To be honest, I didn't like it that much. It weirdly felt basic, I guess. I don't know why it felt like that, but it did. I think it had some good parts where tension would be created. Like, there'd be scenes where they're running and they're like in the middle of the forest at night and you can't see anything. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of scary. But all the characters feel and look the same, and I don't really feel like I should be rooting for any of them for some reason. Maybe it's because I missed the first 20 minutes, but I really just didn't care, There's a monster inside the woods that is just so, like, weird, and there's not a lot of explanation towards the monster that I kind of would have liked to hear about. And the ending is just so... excuse me. There's no spoilers here, but the ending is just so, like, unsatisfying. And I think for a movie like this, where it's supposed to be a super big thriller, but there's really not that many parts that thrill you and keep you on the edge, and just a horror movie in general, certain answers like these need to be given to you, I think. And there's just no answers, no explanation to why there's this weird monster here, and it's too weird for me. I don't know, and I like weird stuff, but it's just certain style, and it felt like weirdly 2007-ish. I don't know why. 2007 horror film. I just didn't like it. I also saw all 4 seasons of the Fargo television show. I think I might do my own video on that. So I don't want to get too into that, but man, all 4 seasons are insane. Even the 4th season, that's a little slower. It's still going on right now currently. I loved all 4 seasons, and I can't wait to make a video on that, because the Fargo TV show is just amazing. It's mind-blowing. So well done. Every season, equally just as well done as the other, I feel like. And really creates the same level of perfection, I feel like, that the movie creates almost. That's what I really like about it. Then lastly, I saw The Cabin in the Woods, which I think became an instant horror film like classic for me. This film has been on my list for so long, and one day I was just like, fuck it, bro, let's watch this. This was actually the night before Halloween I saw this, and I just instantly fell in love with it. I mean, all the characters I think were distinct enough. I think I like how they kind of did a twist on the typical like horror film like tropes, the way they played with those, and the way they just portray this horror film to be one thing and it ends up becoming another thing. I just really like that, and the way they play with comedy in this film is just so fun to watch, I think. And just everything about the film, I think, has its own style and its own humor, and it's really, I think, unpredictable, which makes it so much fun. And I just really like the whole cast and all the characters, honestly, especially the stoner character. He is my favorite. I don't know what it is. Besides him being a stoner, I just think he's a very mellow dude that's fun to watch, and really the hero of the story. And yeah, that's all I watched this month. I know I said I was gonna watch more, but I actually ended up watching less. But I was actually really busy. I've already started watching movies for November. I know this video's a couple days late for October, but it's whatever. And I'm thinking I'm going to be able to watch more movies in November. So stay hyped for that. Stay hyped for the video that's coming out before that November watch list video. And yeah, boys, I think that's it. Oh, and that's right. Don't forget, stay healthy. Stay safe in these trying times, boys. Hope everyone's doing well. Let me know what you watched this month. I want to know. And remember, I love you.